Greetings, new blood, and welcome to the Basic Boy Guide on Anatolia. I'm your host, Anatolia Buddy. Anatolia is a slow burn, spine-tingling, atmospheric gem of a mud or a multi-user dungeon. Muds by Wikipedia are by definition text-based roleplay with multiple nerds sharing a single neuron to form a cohesive story that they both enjoy within an improv setting. In this case, an 1800s high magic high fantasy setting. Anatolia as of this video info guide is primarily hosted on Kingdom Life within the brick game ROBLOX to a surprisingly older audience. Maybe one day Anatolia will become something of a mud hut with other platforms, but for now we shall play our light RPG within the confines of David Bazooka's Cash Cow. Using westernized dice, mind you. If you know of Shadowdirk, Dungeon Crawl Classics, Pathfinder, or any other fantasy tabletop RPG, this may come as easy towards you, but for those who are new, don't worry! Anatolia Buddy shall explain everything in layman's terms. Dice are used throughout Anatolia, specifically the glorious 20-sided D20, in order to accomplish many non-combat and standard tasks. When you start out in Anatolia, you will notice you will be directed or should be directed to a character creation channel or thingy, where you select your 4 modifiers. Modifiers are additional or subtracting numbers to your die, which determines the outcomes of things that happen around you. Might is how well you can mash a potato, agility is how smooth you can peel a potato, intelligence is knowing if a potato is poisonous, and charisma is how successful you can seduce a potato. All stats are important, as even if you do not particularly use them, you can resist spells or skills with them, so consider your character's strengths and weaknesses. The further you go to a 1, the more funny horrible mishaps may happen, while going positive towards a 20 means good things happen. It is simply a role-playing tool that utilizes your character's strengths and weaknesses by adding or subtracting to the outcome of what may happen depending on what your character would do. You can access the D20 dice usually at the bottom of your screen on Kingdom Life, but this might change over time. Sometimes when role-playing with others they might call for perception checks, maybe history checks, nature checks. Me touching an itch on my back, check, you get the point. It is for determining skill or luck depending if called for by another player or a dungeon master. Hopefully with you understanding the gist of dice, any weapon you choose has a weapon die attached to it. There is apparently more than one type of dice, and you can access any dice using the RAM feature in Kingdom Life. This might change though, be it with any other game or just whenever stuff changes. Now, I know what you are thinking, but Anatolia Buddy, why so many numbers? Well, for one thing, honor combat can be a slog, with trust in someone who probably has their own goals in general. But with this alternative, it's simple to learn once you do it once, and with your helpful allies and people you meet across your journey, like a skill, it'll grow and become a cool adventurer like me, of course. Class abilities are meant to be slowly mastered, and training is heavily recommended in order to get a grasp. Oh, and by the way, you can reflavor all of them, so go ahead and be a berserker that turns into a unicorn as their rage skill, or a beastmaster who summons their great-great-granny's fighting spirit. It does not matter. As long as you follow the stats and adhere to the roleplay rules, you are already doing incredible and you don't have to worry. Okay, so you can roll the dice whenever you want to when walking around town, and you know how to fight to varying degrees of success, at least fairly. Now that you can use your upper body, time to use your lower, going over movement within combat, and understanding who goes first and whatnot. Your dungeon master or the opposing parties, if it is player versus player, will call for who gets to go first. Dungeon masters say it's final on who got the jump, on who at first. However, within PvP, both players must come to terms out of character on who did what first, so please be kind and respectful as though you were face to face with each other in the real world. Remember, this is not about winning, it's about telling a collaborative story like I said at the start. Everyone goes at the same time, then the opposing party goes. Everyone must keep track of their HP, whether on their name tag, notepad, or who knows what. Please be sure to do this, as trying to fudge the numbers in any way can result in, well, just do not do it. Also be sure to do this for limited class resources. like the Brawler's counterattack, being able to be used twice per battle, or the Paladin's Smite, being only able to be used twice per opponent. If you have any questions about combat, or anything like that, try asking questions before entering the events, as questions during combat can slow things down. During combat, on top of your actions per your turn, you have movement by counting yums. Since there is no grid in Kingdom Life, so you just say silently in your head or whisper to your sweet little self. 1 yum, 2 yum, 3 yum, and so forth. There is no exact measurement for yums, but there is an agreeable distance of how much distance you can cross with yums. This movement speed matters, because it adds a whole entire new layer of combat tactics to combat encounters, and depending on what armor you re-wearing, there is a huge trade-off. The heavier armor you got, you are fire against physical attacks, but a lot slower. Unarmored, you are fast, but all you got is your skin. Shields are also armor. Haha. So unrealistic. Yes, guy, in fantasy game LARPing as a Catholic Orthodox priest, standing next to a rainbow tiefling from hell, I agree with you, but it is specifically a lore-accurate trade-off within the world of Anatolia, due to the fact it is fantastical and things developed differently than our world. Speaking of combat, let's get to some other things you can do with your one action than attacking and your class abilities, which do have some utility when you are out and about, but usually contain stuff to fight. If you want to be an Anatolia pro, here are some other things you can do with your 2 limbs and legs. Hopefully. I'll go over them quickly so all the horsebound eye-patch-wielding prosthetic pirates don't get on my text-to-speech behind soon enough. Help, did you know that when you reach 0 hit points you have to roll 3d20? Every round before you completely go dead? Now you do, and with the help of one action you can save someone from this terrible fate, spending your action for their sake. Also alternatively healing them from 0 hit points to just 1 hit point can get them back on their feet. Gosh, always hated how people in any role-playing thing could always just dodge with no consequences, for that matter. Wow, incredible footwork, amazing how you can just do that without penalties. Well, now there are penalties. Although dodging negates all damage, and you can still move around while doing so, you cannot attack while dodging or doing anything else. So try and think strategically about when you are going to dodge. You also cannot reactively dodge, you need to prepare this ahead of time. On a more serious note, using this ability will make or break a true combatant of Anatolia. Oh, and by the way, you can also only do this twice per battle, so be cautious. Dash! You can dash like in other role-playing games. Yay! Sprint away and double your yum movement, but you cannot do anything else for the round. No fleeing, by the way, right after you dashed. Need to wait another round for that, which is why. Fleeing. When you are 20 yums away from the opponent, you can flee. Teleport anywhere, do whatever, but it's a tactical retreat. Using items costs an action. Throwables, consumables, bottles, not free. Costs an entire round. Just putting this out there. Shoving, you shove someone who is medium-sized. All players are medium-sized, by the way, no matter what they are, and force them to move up to 6 to 10 yums away. Any large or gargantuan creatures cannot be shoved. Handy-dandy chart on the screen for ya. Grapple. When you grapple someone, they have to beat a score of 14 using a d20 plus might to see if they escape. If they fail, they are forced to be unable to move, but they can still do actions. Every time it is their turn, they can try again. Unless stated otherwise, by your class, cannot grapple large or gargantuan creatures, so no suplexing any trains. Yet, you can only do one action, and you can always move on top of your actions. It's a bit of a doozy, but think about it, you would already want to do this stuff in battle. This is just a way to make it fair and fun for everyone involved, rather than a duel of the keyboard warriors. And while your brain is still fried and adjusting, if you never heard of any of the terms used by your friends and dastardly foes alike, here is some terminology you might see across the server or the wiki. Self-explanatory. If you are also confused on where your hit points are, they are included within your class guide, if it wasn't obvious. I hope this helps you on your Anatolian journey. be sure to watch upcoming or already released videos on Anatolia, such as trailers or happenings. Links below to joining us on our Discord and also our Wiki page, for lore linked below. Happy Anatolia-ing!